And welcome back to the DMG Zone. I'm Scott.
And I'm Hunter.
I am really excited to bring this video to you guys today. This is going to be everything that you need to do to get an Ark server up and running so you and your friends can play. This is going to be a complete tutorial. It's going to probably be a little long, so hang in there with me and we'll go from there. The first thing that we're going to want to do today is I found a server manager. Okay, I will leave the link in the comments below, but this is where you want to go. Okay, and you're going to click the latest zip here. Okay, it's going to come up with something like this. It's going to download it into my downloads, so we want to save that. Okay, and then it's going to come here. Alright, then we're going to open up our downloads. And as you can see, it's in here. We're going to take and extract all. It's going to bring this window up. And what we're going to do is we're going to create on our desktop. You click desktop and then hit new folder. Okay, and we're going to call it Ark Server. Okay, and then we're going to select that folder and we're going to hit extract. Okay. So, now that we have it all extracted, you're going to laugh how easy this actually is with this thing. I absolutely have fallen in love with this thing. You're going to open up the Ark server. Okay, I just opened it from right where we were. If you wanted to see, that's the folder for it, and then you can just click on it and it'll bring you to the same page. Okay, gonna go down here. It says Ark server application, and we're gonna click on it. Okay, it's going to ask you this question: this application requires administrative privileges. Do you want to run it as administrator? Yes, it has to run as an administrator. So if you don't have administrator rights, you got to get that taken care of. Okay, so you're going to click yes. Okay, then it's going to bring another one that says you're going to allow it to make decisions for your computer and change things. Okay, it's going to bring up this command prompt window, and you also see that it's coming in here. Okay, now I am going to show you this. This is where it's going to bring up. Okay, now the only thing that I would suggest you do, and you don't need to do it, is I would make whatever computer you're on a static IP. Now, not to get too technical with the whole thing, but basically your local IP address can change depending on what's going on. So how do you make your IP address static? Okay, it's going to depend on your server itself. I mean, not your server, your router in itself. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find your default gateway by typing CMD in here, which will bring up the command prompt right here, and then you're going to type in IP config return. Okay, I'm going to black a lot of this stuff out, okay, but you can see the default gateway, and I'll leave this open, is the 192.168.0.1. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to type into your address bar 192.168.0.1. Okay, and what that's basically doing is it's giving you access to your router or your modem. Okay, you'll have to look up what the default password is. It could be a lot of different things, but you want to log into that router. A lot of times it's password or admin or 123. There's a whole bunch of them depending on what your router is. Okay, now we are in the router. This is actually the setup of the router. I'm going to block a lot of this stuff out, but you can see that my wireless passwords are here, the whole 9 yards. So you're going to want to look for something that says LAN, which means local area network, something along those lines. Okay? And it could be on a couple different things. Mine's under the LAN setup, and you're going to do a client list. You're going to look for a client list, or you look for a page that has your IP numbers that are out there right now and what devices. So you might see some phones, you might see some other computers, tablets, whatever it is. When you see this screen come up in a second, it will show you, there it is, okay, there is your list of IP addresses, and I'll probably black all those IP addresses out just for fun. But as you can see, my computer that I'm on, I nicknamed Supercomputer, and I added this to the reserved IP client list. It might be called a static IP. It could be called a bunch of different things. So the next thing you're going to go to is we're going to go back to the Ark Server Manager. Okay, you're going to click this little green tab right here. Okay, and voila. Believe it or not, this almost does everything for you. So we'll do this as just a test. Okay, and then now here's another thing that you want to keep in mind. This is the only problem that I really had. There's two problems that I had, and I'll explain those to you as we go along. The first one, it wasn't carrying the server name over. Okay, what I would do is I will show you what happens, but we'll just call this test to view. Okay, it's going to give you a password. Make it something you actually want. I don't know, 1 2 3 4. And then the same thing with here. For your admin password, we'll do 1 2 3 4 5, and then 1 2 for spectator. Now, here's the important thing. The local IP, and this is why I recommended you to take and make a static IP. Letting Ark choose doesn't seem to work, okay? I'm not sure, like I said, I have a static IP on this, so I'm not sure what happens, but you can hit the drop down and you want to select this. Okay, it's telling where all the stuff needs to go. Okay, so let's take a look at this now, because this is where all your server settings are going to be. All those settings that you wanted to play around with and everything else, we're going to do right now. Now, I will do mods. You can see right here, this is where you select the map. Okay, and this is also where we're going to do mods, but that's a little more complicated, and I want to do that. I actually want to make sure the server's up and running before I try to add mods to it. It kind of gives me less to troubleshoot if I have to troubleshoot something down the line. Okay, so as you can see, we've got all this stuff, the ban list, blah 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 blah, and we'll just go with it and say we don't want to do anything administrative now. Okay, so now automatic management. There's things in here. You got to remember, this is going to be a server that the game is going to be running separate from yours. So this is all stuff that you can just shut it down, bring it back up, whatever you want, or you can have it shut down if you want your friends to play while you're on vacation, but you only want them to play a couple hours a day. You can set stuff up like that here. Okay, now the rules. Again, it really lists just about everything you can put on it. Prevent offline PvP, schedule PvE, so you can have like a certain time where it's like a demilitarized zone time, where you can set up certain times a day where it will be PvEP and nobody can attack. Really, going through this, you can really do just about everything. You can see enable PvP, enable PvEK building. It's really a lot of different stuff. Create loot quality multiplier, increase that. You know, you can increase that. You can really do whatever you wanted. So then you're going to come down to the next is visuals. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you want one of those visuals, you put it up. Okay, now with this kind of stuff, let's say you don't know what it is that you want, and you're like, what is an able carry flyer carry? Okay, just hover over it and it'll tell you. Wonderful thing. That goes all through. You see the XPs, you see the drain levels, you see the stats per level. You want to like make it, if they level once, they level 100,000 times, whatever it is, it's still all in here. Now, the Dyno settings, it has a whole different things about the Dyno settings. The cool thing about the Dyno settings is down here is it even goes into the particular different dynos. Okay, so like if you wanted, like I just saw an alpha T-Rex just for I saw you, alpha T-Rex, where were you? Anyway, you can make them tameable, not tameable. If you don't want them to spawn, you don't have them to spawn. Really, it's really going to be up to you what you want to do in the Dyno settings. Environment, again, it's another thing that you just got to read through, and if you have any questions, look at it and it'll tell you. I can't believe I haven't found this earlier. It's like absolutely phenomenal. Structures, this one's a big one for me. Disable structure placement collision. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm hoping that that works. I hate the placement collision. It makes everything look horrible. So as you can see, there's all of these different things you can actually go through and adjust on your server. Now, what we're going to do right now, I'm going to open up this part of it, okay? So you've gone through now and set up all your things down here as far as the server goes, and you have it the way you want. Now, for me, I'm going to test the server. I like to test the server, like I said, to narrow down the possibilities of what could or couldn't be going wrong with the server. Okay? So the next step in this process is you go up to this install button and you hit install. I'm going to pause the video here because this does take a little while. Now if you have an error in here, obviously you want to look at it. I know one of the errors that I was running into is, depending on if you keep adding servers, it's like 8 to 10 gigs each server. So you might run out of room. And I ran out of room and it was giving me an error here, and I was like, oh, this thing doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And it was my stupidity that I didn't have enough room on my hard drive. Okay, so as you can see, it's 12% done right now. What I'm going to do is pause the video, and I'll pick it back up when this is done. Okay, and we're back. One thing that you notice, that start here, it'll say that the app is successfully installed, finish server update, newest version, all that other kind of good stuff. Make sure there's no errors there, and then you should be good. One thing that I did notice that while we were going through it is the Steam CMD. It didn't ask us to do a Steam CMD folder. If it does, just make a new folder in your it'll actually be where you're on the desktop here, and then you go into Ark server. You're just going to make the Steam CMD folder here, okay? And then you would select it. I don't know if that's a permanent thing, or I'm not sure why that didn't ask us to do that time, because it has asked me in the past, but that's just in case. Okay, so now we have our server ready to go. Okay, it's been installed, the whole 9 yards. Let's see if we can find it. Now, here's where I would run into my second bit of, I don't want to say trouble, but a little glitchy, kind of not really sure what's going on. Okay, as you can see, it started the server, and it's going to go down here, and it's going to be like the last time. By the way, both the last step where I paused the video and this step, and a lot of these steps, I'll let you know the other one, depend on your connection speed and how fast your server is. Okay, good. I'm glad it did this. Okay, so I want you to see this. See how it says Ark 74317 right here? That's actually what it named the server. I noticed that it does that. I'm going to try something right now. We're gonna close this down and let's save this, okay? And then we're gonna try to reopen it. You just hit the start button to reopen it again. I'm going to see if the server name actually goes through. If it doesn't, I do have a workaround for that. But it worked another time that I tried it. So work with me on this one. And the Primal game data, you know, I don't have, my computer runs pretty quickly, so let's see what it has to say so far. And it should be on the next thing. That's another thing that I don't know if you really want or don't want, and that is in here, and I like to do it. Enable Battle Eye. If you notice that Battle Eye here is not enabled. Okay, so what you want to do, that's the secret there. See where it says test to view that we named our server? Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to hit save before you start it. And then it looks like that's what triggers that over. Okay, so now we're going to open up our Ark server, or our Ark game. Hold on one second. I do have to see which is being shown. Make sure that you guys are actually on Ark, and you're not. So let's. Oh, there you go. It popped over now. Okay. Now, this should show up in two different places. First place it's going to show up, is, and it's not, of course, is in your LAN settings. And you know what I forgot to do? I'm thinking, hold on one second. Okay. I'm gonna pause the video here for a second, because now I'm at a loss. Okay, we're back again. I'm not really sure what happened there. I do know that I had to shut down the server and restart it, and as soon as I did that, and then went into join, here's test to view. Now, it will show up immediately on your LAN settings, okay? Where you want it to show up to make sure that it's available to your friends is on the unofficial servers. Okay, so what we'll do is test 2. Okay, now keep in mind that you want to have this on, and I'm pretty sure that that is the wrong one. No, it is actually the right one. You want to make sure that it's on all modes, sort all pings, show password protected, because you did put a password on it, and make sure it's on the right map. And this could take anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes to actually find it. The first time you find it, it's slow. Every other time after that, it goes right through. So let's see if I can get it to go through. If not, I will cut this part of the video. As you can see, it's under my LAN right here. Okay, unofficial, still not showing up yet. There it is. Okay, so that's where you want to do it. Okay, and this means that it has Battle Eye and that it's password protected. Now, what you can do is also, you can highlight it, add it to your favorites, then go to LAN and add this one to your favorites, and then go to favorites and, whoops, come on, there it is. Go to favorites, and both of them are there. The pings are a little bit different because this one is going out and then coming back, to where this one is just communicating right over the LAN. Okay, so if you want to do, you can actually do it. Hit accept. You're going to join the server, and while this is happening, remember that this is what usually happens to me when I am running the server. Okay, it shuts down and then it'll come back up. All you have to do when this does do this, and I'm hoping that there's my recorder, okay, it goes back over. All you have to do is redo it. Just go in, type in the password, hit accept. Okay, now it's joining test view. It's going to take a couple seconds. We'll just create the new cert, and I'll do it here. Hit create. Voila. Hello, I'm alive. Yay. Oh, why do I have this piece of stone in my arm? Kind of itches though. Anyway, so you're here. Now you know that you have it. You have the server and it is able to be up and running. So now the next step, of course, is you want mods. Here's how to do the mods in those. Okay, you also could probably, you're going to hit stop here. Okay, do you wish to shut down your server? Yes, I do. Okay, so let's go, and this is how you do the mods. The mods in this thing are a little bit funky. Okay, and this is the way that I found that it actually works. As you can see right here where our map was, it says mod IDs. Okay, you're going to hit the question mark. Then you're going to hit plus to add mods to list. Okay, now let this thing go through its stuff, because what's going to happen here is it's actually searching Steam for the list of mods. Okay, and again, there it goes. Again, it could be a couple of minutes. This is all going to depend on your computer, your connection, all that other kind of good stuff. So the one that I like, one of the ones that I like, structure switch S plus. I'll just do S plus. Okay, and this is one of the mods that I use, which is structures plus. Okay, so you can go right to Steam. Okay, and when you go to Steam, sorry, let's go to Steam. You go to your Ark, you go to your workshop, and this is where you find all of the mods. You can do this way. Here's the different mods. Go to the mod, you subscribe to it. You do still have to subscribe to it, okay? And then when you subscribe to it, you're going to get this mod ID number. Okay, now that mod ID number is this number right here, so you can actually search it by the mod ID number also. Okay, so let's kind of backtrack here. You were going to go to the mod and make sure your mod actually has, you go to subscribe to that mod, then, and copy down the mod ID number. Then you come into here and you type the mod ID number or the mod name into here so it comes up here. Okay, now that's a little funky and it's a little bit crazy. So what we'll do is we're going to add that. Okay, then we are going to close this out. Yes, you can add more than one mod. I'm just going to add this mod to show you for right now. Okay, then you're going to hit save. Okay, it's going to tell you this blah 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 blah. No, deleted, detected, being properly. Yes. Okay, so now you have it saved. Okay, as soon as you save it, it is going to come up here. Okay, you are gonna then come down to here with this little upload arrow. Now you notice that this mod outdated mods 1. This refresh does not work. This button here. You want to go to right here. Okay, And what this is going to do, as you can see, is fail miserably again. Okay, why did you fail that time? Let's try that again. Do we need to save you again to be nice to us? Okay. I am going to try to pause the video right here and see what this actually is. Okay, I'm back. That was interesting. I actually shut down Ark Server Manager and then just brought it back up, and it seems to have loaded the mod and everything else. As you can see up here, it says 0 mods, outdated. One of the things that I do want to show you is I'm going to add like 3 or 4 mods, and then we're going to go in and we're going to add those and show you how it goes through. It does take a little while. Again, it could take a little while. It could take a little while depending on your connection. Okay. Anyway, Super Spyglass, the number. So this is how I would do it. That's not the. That's an advanced Spyglass. That's not what I wanted. Let's find Super Spyglass. Okay. So I found Super Spyglass. The mods. Oh, there's a mod ID. Okay, so just to kind of give you an idea where I looked again, I'm sorry, I hit Super Spyglass, looking for the mod ID. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, we're going to go back here, we're going to add another one, and in the box we're going to start typing the mod ID is 60, and there it is. So we'll end up doing that one. Let's see, another popular one. What's another popular one? Super Stacks. Of course. Alright. Ultra Stack. Alright, so let's see. This looks like the one that we usually use. Ultra Stack. We'll go down, we'll find the ID for this one. There we go. And we'll copy it, and then we'll go back to our Ark server and we will paste it. Ultra Stacks. Okay, so then what we want to do when we have it here, you see it's not downloaded yet, you're gonna hit save. Okay, there are blah blah yada yada, that message comes up again, and we are now going to have 2 mods outdated. Okay, hit the up button, and there you go. See how it's into here, it's updating everything. It's waiting for more user info, and what this will do is actually just add the mod in for you. It adds the folders you need, the whole 9 yards, everything that you need, and when it's done it'll say process finished. Okay, now this also adds it here, so it's basically kind of plug and play. You're good to go. Now I'm going to show you, they're a little bit different. I want to show you one last thing on this page, And that is that if you can see where it says upgrade/verify, this is where you're going to do your updates for your server. It's not automatic. It's not going to download for you and everything automatic. So if you know, for a while there, Ark was coming out with a lot of updates. You're just going to hit this button and it'll go through the whole thing again. Now, it's going to verify the process, and while it's doing that, like I said, I'm just going to, if you get an error, because I was getting it looked like some sort of Steam settings error, something like that we were getting before, shut down the Ark server manager and then restart it. And that seems to have fixed all of the little bit of glitches, and maybe it just didn't shut down the proper way. But as you can see, when you do the verification, it does the upgrade verification for all of the server folders, and then it also goes through the 3 mods to do the verification. Okay, now how do you know that the mods were sent through to the server? Okay, well, you're going to start your server, okay, and that'll bring up this screen right here. Again, it is a little bit hinky, right? We are doing the test to view server. As you can see, the server name right here. You do want to make sure that that name matches to up here. If it does not, there is a workaround I can give you. Just let me know and we'll go from there. But it seems like if you hit save, once you hit save, then your server session name transfers over to your server name here. Let's see what else we got. It should, there you go, initialize the battle eye, and server test to view. Okay, so that's all we really need, and we know that that's going to come up, and I'm putting, it's kind of on the second screen, so I don't want to bug you out there. And I'm going to start up Ark. Once this comes to 4 numbers of cores, the number of cores 4, that's when you're completely up. If it says server successfully started and these 2 lines still haven't come up, it's not going to show up yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Ark, and as you can see, my 2 servers are here, okay, and then we're going to hit join. Okay, I changed the password. Okay, now what you're going to do is it's going to play funky again. So what it's going to do is it's going to restart. I told you this happens to me. I'm not sure what it happens, but it doesn't happen when I'm not running a server. When I am running a server, the computer I'm running the server on tends to do this. Okay, so they're still there. We're going to join. It doesn't matter which one you join. But your friends are only going to see the one that is on the unofficial. Now see here, it says loading mods 2, 3. Count how many mods you have. If it's not loading all the mods that you want, you got to go back and adjust some of the settings. Okay, now where can we see if the mod's downloaded? Here's the S Plus stuff. Spyglass, and there's the Super Spyglass, and then you would just do your the stacks most likely will work, but you just got to check it. So that's kind of the ins and outs of the whole thing. I know it's long, I know it's kind of tedious in that whole thing. But I really enjoy using this Ark Server Manager. Does it solve all the problems? No, but does it make it more of plug the information in that you need and you want? Yeah, it makes everything a whole lot easier. Well, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to give us a subscribe and a like. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll get to them as soon as possible. For the DMG Zone, I'm Scott.
And I'm Hunter.
And we will see you on the other side.